I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Recent data from the FDIC reveals 53 top banks could soon collapse just like Silicon Valley Bank. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your savings today using a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To find out more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to the number 989898 and protect what's yours.
For the next 3 days in Georgia, people will say goodbye to a former First Lady.
Members of the public will be able to pay their respects to former First Lady Rosalind Carter when she lies at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library and Museum today. Tomorrow, a tribute service will be held for invited guests at Emory University. President Biden, First Lady Dr. Jill Biden, Vice President Harris, and the second gentleman are all expected to travel to Georgia this week. The president has spoken highly of the former First family since Carter's death, saying,
Well, they're really an incredible family because they brought so much grace to the office.
Carter died last week at the age of 96, shortly after the family announced she would be entering hospice care. She used much of her platform to combat the stigma associated with mental health treatment. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
And when she died, former President Jimmy Carter was by her side. He's 99 and also in hospice care at home in Georgia. Pope Francis is ailing again months after abdominal surgery.
Usually the Pope speaks to crowds from a window of his residence overlooking St. Peter's Square on Sundays. But this Sunday, he told the crowd,
Oggi non posso affacciarmi dalla finestra.
He said, today I cannot appear at the window because I have this problem of inflammation of the lungs. The 86-year-old pontiff underwent a CAT scan Saturday after a bout of flu. The Vatican had said the test had ruled out lung complications. That was in direct contrast to what the Pope said Sunday. Pope Francis has said he will be going to the United Arab Emirates for a climate change conference and will deliver a speech next Saturday as scheduled. Jill Nato, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures down modestly after 4 straight weeks of gains. On Sunday Night Football, Baltimore beat the LA Chargers 20-10. The Ravens now 9-3 atop the AFC. The NFC's top team, Philadelphia, edged Buffalo 37-34 in overtime. The Eagles have the NFL's best record, 10-1. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. On to Monday, Illinois hunters harvesting 262 turkeys during the just completed 2023 season, the same number as last year. Best year for turkey hunting in Illinois was 2005 when 1,218 turkeys were bagged. The most turkeys of any county was Joe Daviess County with 23. Illinois Attorney General's office cautioning residents to be wary of scams as they tackled Black Friday, the warning applying to online scams in particular. The Attorney General's office warning people to watch out for so-called buy now, pay later plans, online loans, and other possible source for those scams. Illinois State Board of Education facing a growing number of funding requests from schools across the state while it figures out how to manage shrinking budgets. Advocates want to push a $550 million increase, but Superintendent Tony Sanders says he's unwilling to go beyond the $350 million mark. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, thank you, Jim Miller at ESPN 93.5. Good Monday morning. We hope you had the best Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, it was awesome.
December is just a few days away.
It is.
November 27 is, according to my calendar,
yes.
the day. Weather now brought to you by Carl.
And Carl reminds you, if you have symptoms of diabetes, you're feeling sluggish, 1 in 5 people are walking around with diabetes and don't know it. You can learn more at carl.org.
All right, that's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. There's Greg Solier, meteorologist with feels a little wintry here. We have the Christmas tree up.
Yeah.
In the middle of Main Street, downtown Philo. It is worth driving from wherever you are to see. It's spectacular.
It's just like a Hallmark Christmas movie yesterday for the parade. Everybody did such a great job.
It is a huge tree, though. I mean, it is.
I think 32 feet is what I heard.
It's gigantic.
Wow.
It is ginormous. Downtown Philo,
Good
the
job
Christmas
to the
tree.
Knights of
Whose yard
Columbus.
did that come out of?
I don't know.
She wants to remain anonymous, but
Good, okay.
She working with the Knights of Columbus here with out of St. Thomas and Philo.
Awesome tree.
And they did
tree.
a great job.
Well, I would have guessed higher than 32, but it's huge. Anyway, Knights of Columbus does that. They shepherd that. Okay, Mr. Greg, what are you seeing this week, my friend?
Well, yeah, kind of a hint and look and feel of early wintertime over the area here, coming off the back end of the holiday weekend, even a couple of inches before it melted away as far south as parts of Kankakee County and Grundy and up towards Will County, and 3 into some northern reaches of Illinois and southern Wisconsin. The lingering effects of that snow still around the Detroit area and lower lakes region, some lake effect out there. So kind of a wintry early to mid-December look and feel around here the next couple of days, and it's quickly out. Typical of this moderately strong El Nino weather pattern. We'll get a nice recovery on temperatures later this week, and no shortage of rain later on this week as well. Out the door this morning, though, a little nip in the air with a reading over at Willard and Savoy at 24, same at Rantoul, 27 Danville, 20 Bloomington Normal, but that west-northwest wind at about 15 miles per hour as wind chills down close to 10 above, if not a little bit lower. Partly sunny, breezy, cold for the day today, an errant snowflake in the air, 33. That's it. The expected high, normal high this time of the year is at 43, but we'll get there. We'll recover nicely later this week. West wind 12 to 24. Cold one tonight, clearing off well down into the teens most areas. Gusty west winds, so wind chills even lower tomorrow morning. Sunny, cold, only 28 on a west wind. Rising temperatures late tomorrow night gets us to 42 later Wednesday afternoon. Increasing south wind, lots of sunshine, bit of rain in here late Thursday. A rainy December 1st around here, better than the white stuff. 47 on Thursday, upper 40s and dropping on Friday. And a little rain Sunday. Rest of the weekend is dry. Some peaks of sun, temperatures a little above average at 45 Saturday, 48 on Sunday. Could flirt with 50 around here for a time early next week. For Steve Deere Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solier.
I thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Off we go. ESPN 93.5. Our friend Raven Harrison. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm fine. Joe Manchin, West Virginia Democrat, who says I'm not running for Senate. He's gonna lose. What is it? Jim Jolly, whatever that guy's name, governor of West Virginia, is going to win that race and flip a seat from Democrat to a very red West Virginia. Will be a Republican seat. So Joe Manchin said, I'm not running for Senate, but I'm going to do like a little listening tour. And I guess he's concluded that it'd be really hard for an independent to be competitive. And I'm going, yeah, that's not news, is it? I mean, it's John Anderson, 1980, pretty good run.
Yes.
And then who doesn't miss? Now, Larry, look at the charts. Larry, look at the charts. It's all up to the people. That sucking sound from Mexico. I mean, Ross Perot was just so entertaining. so entertaining. It's up to the volunteers, Raven. It's up to the volunteers. So what did we learn from Joe Manchin?
We are learning a little bit more polished word salad. So basically what he's essentially said is he wanted to jump in possibly as a third party, but he doesn't want to. He knows that there's just really no opportunity for that. So he's still fundraising. And I love this statement. It's my favorite. Because they used to say this with DeSantis. Oh, well, he's just raising money just in case. And I said, just in case of what? In case he accidentally becomes president? Nobody accidentally fundraises. So it's important to note that though Joe Manchin is saying that, he's still fundraising with really high dollar donors. So interesting to see where he's going to take this next.
Well, he's not going to support Joe Biden, or is he? I mean, I guess he will. He wouldn't get behind Robert Kennedy Jr. or something, would he?
Well, he has to flip-flop. Remember, it's not going to be Joe Biden. It's going to be Gavin Newsom, which I've been saying for a while. They've been prepping Gavin behind the scenes because Joe Biden's falling apart. He's not going to make it, and they know that. So they're trying to get Gavin prepared to just slip in behind there. So it'll be interesting to see if he supports this, but he tends to do that. People think he's more middle of the road, and then he tends to swing Democrat when it's time to vote on policies.
Yeah, I tell you, though, I got to give Joe Manchin, I mean, filibuster, pack the courts, I think he was big for that, at least. I mean, he voted for that, whatever bill that was that he got schnookered into, but he did keep the filibuster alive, and he did keep the pack the courts thing dead. So I thought that was at least good.
Well, I agree, and he keeps it, but see, that's typically, if you look at his voting record, that's what he does. He gives people hope that he's going to stay very middle of the road, and then he'll cave on certain issues and remind you that he is very much Democrat. But I have to say he's one of the more liked people in the Senate. So he's done a really good job overall on his career, but he just tends to kind of save that knife for the most pivotal fight.
It's just kind of this or that, right? I mean, you've got this radical stuff. You can't talk to each other. And if you do, then the other side is going to get really mad at you because you're not really one of them. I mean, what happened, Raven?
It's political. It's exploded. What you're seeing is what we're seeing. The Democrats now, if you're not with them, they will cancel you. They are over you. Look at what's happening to Mayor Adams. He dared to speak out against the immigration problem that was dumped into his lap that they all welcomed, and now they're bringing up charges from 30 years ago. That's something that happened. I mean, this was a warning shot to him about what it means to go against the Democrats. But you still don't have Republicans taking full advantage of that. They're still doing well, they're cheating. Well, great, do something. So that's where we have to kind of get this moving in a different direction. But I have to say, on the whole, he's one of the ones who's fared better than most in the political state. He's managed to come out with less bloody than the most.
Well, you put Gavin Newsom in there, what you want is kind of some sort of Pinocchio system, because I think he sounds pretty good, but I'm not sure.
Gavin Newsom, he's a very polished speaker.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much he says is actual fact. That's a problem.
No, very little. But also, he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew. It's huge nepotism. He's ruined California. They're at almost $8 a gallon for gas, and he wants to do that with America. No thanks. Hard pass.
Yeah, well, he'd say that's not true. So,
well, I'm telling you, this is where we are. So that's what voters have to decide, is if they're okay with the great speeches and getting crushed under kitchen table issues.
Okay. Well, we'll see, because J.B. Pritzker, Illinois governor, kind of wants this thing too. So he's got 6 billion reasons where he thinks he can win. So
exactly. Well, it's going to be interesting.
All right, Raven Harrison, how can we find your book, Raven's Mantle?
You can find it on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Okay, stay warm. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. ESPN 93.5 on the Tapman's Towing phone line. Raven Harrison. We now check our sports headlines.
Well, Illinois basketball closed out a 6-game homestand against Western Illinois, finishing strong. So the final was 84-52 on that. We are 5-1 on the season. Illinois women's basketball 90-58 winners over Canisius yesterday. And next up for them will be Wednesday against Central Connecticut State at 6 o'clock. Our men will be taking on Rutgers the second at 3. I guess that's out in New Jersey then.
Yep.
And then we're kind of gearing up for Missouri and the bragging rights game and so much fun in December. So go Illini when it comes to our men's basketball team. We'll hear from Luke Goody tomorrow.
I don't know.
Okay.
It depends on basketball
That's
schedule,
right?
So.
And then Luke Altmaier to wrap up the football season today on the drive after 4.
Yeah.
And will we hear from Jay Lehman too as we wrap up the season?
No, yeah, Jay's going to be on for maybe another 2 months.
Okay.
Anytime we get Jay Lehman on, it's fantastic.
That's right.
We want Jay Lehman on all the time.
Part of the drive here on ESPN 93.5 with Lonte and Derek Piper. I'm sure they'll have lots of comments about finishing the season with Northwestern beating our Illini 45-43.
Has there ever been a season, and I can't recall a season, where there have been so many peaks and valleys in the same 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I've never, ever experienced Illinois football to where it's exuberance followed by absolute being distraught.
I mean, you just get exhausted as a fan.
It's just really, really hard. I mean, for Casey Washington to take the pass from John Paddock and go 80 yards with 55 seconds, and then clearly we get held in the end zone. Well, the ball was tipped. Now, before that, the guy's just hugging him. Now, that happens all the time. We do it too. The problem is every game is 1 and 2 points. So it matters critically that it's just hard when every game is literally between 2 and 4 points either way. And we've had like 9 games like that. It's just been unbelievable.
Yeah, that's
unbelievable of just the highs and lows. I mean, to be ahead and in a span of 9 seconds have 2 special teams fumbles that turn into 14 quick points. It's hard. Anyway, yeah.
Speaking of football, Bears in Minnesota tonight at 7:15 for Monday Night Football.
Now you're rooting for a loss for a draft pick?
I don't know.
At this point, you're not. So, I mean, it's really weird when your team, you're kind of hoping they lose because then you get a higher pick. I think that might be the Bear mentality. I don't know.
Colts over Tampa Bay 27-20. Atlanta beat your New Orleans Saints 24-15. Eagles come from behind. Win over the Buffalo Bills was interesting to see, 37-34.
Well, Jalen Hurts, the last 5 times they've been behind by 10. 5 times in a row, they win.
Oh, my goodness.
The Eagles got it going on. I don't think they're dominating the world, but their record is, and they find a way to win. They're certainly, I think the team 49ers are going to be the team. And then on the other side, I guess you go Baltimore. I don't know, Baltimore, Kansas City. I mean, there's a number of teams here that could really make a run for the Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, on the bright side for football, Illinois, Lovey was 17 wins, 40 losses. Brett Bielema was 18 wins, 19 losses. So, I mean, It's better from 2014 till now. We're dead last in the Big Ten West with only 17 wins in 10 seasons. Not very good. However, the last 3 seasons, we've had 12 wins in the Big Ten. So it's a little better, trending, but it doesn't help me this morning because we're such a awful way season.
Michigan over Ohio State and Iowa over Nebraska has Michigan and Iowa set up to play December 2nd at 7 in Indianapolis.
I'll take Michigan. Let's check weather, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
So many great fall programs. What a great job with the turkey trot, too. Lots of fun on Thanksgiving morning. Learn more about everything at urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and Van Ham vicinity, and as expected, a little more of an early winter look and feel over the back end of the holiday weekend and early on this week, with temperatures more or less at early December levels. Pretty much the story these waning days, typical of late November. Nice turnaround expected later this week, and an increasingly wet and active one shaping up as well. For the day today, partly sunny, breezy, and cold. Still a couple of lingering snow flurries from time to time. Just 33 the expected high. West wind will add a chill at 12 to 24 and gusty. Quite cold tonight. We'll clear things off this evening. Lows around 15. On a gusty west wind, we'll compute wind chills tomorrow morning. Sunny cold, just 28. Down near 20 and rising temperatures tomorrow night. Mostly sunny, breezy, a bit milder on Wednesday afternoon. Actually much milder. Highs up to about 42. Rain moves in late Thursday into Friday. Back in for Sunday. High temperatures in the 40s. Nights in the mid to upper 30s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Americans are still spending despite predictions of consumers pulling back as they face higher interest rates and still high inflation. Today's Cyber Monday is expected to be the year's biggest online shopping day, with $12 billion in spending, up 5.4% from a year ago. Among the big online sellers on Black Friday, TVs, smartwatches, Barbie dolls, and Bluetooth headphones. Black Friday online shopping came in at nearly $10 billion, a new record. Shares of online retail software company Shopify are rallying after reports of upbeat holiday shopping. And shares of iRobot are higher. There's anticipation it will be purchased by Amazon because it's more likely to win approval from EU regulators. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, co-host of The Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom. Join me for my brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will gravitate toward this podcast too. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. As they prep me to cover the upcoming election, they'll prep you, the voters, too. Make sure you subscribe to this series on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and review.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
you can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com. If you're tired of the same old turkey or ham meal for the holidays, try something unique and delicious. Try locally grown yak roasts or steaks for the family. It'll be a meal they'll remember and create new family memories. The yak meat is 97% fat-free and healthy. One of their roasts slow-cooked in the crock pot will be easy and fill your home with delicious aromas. Their steaks are easy to grill and be the best tasting and healthiest red meat you'll ever eat. Visit them online, SavannahRidgeFarm.com. Put your order in for pickup at their farm or they'll deliver to your home. That's SavannahRidgeFarm.com. Yep, so kind of a Illinois dark week from the standpoint of basketball till Saturday in New Jersey against Rutgers at the RAC. I think we're better. They lost a lot of guys. The guy with the headband's gone who actually considered transferring to Illinois, and I think he went to Oregon or somewhere. So anyway, we play basketball Saturday. That's the next basketball game. And then, of course, Illinois football's done. It feels weird because I really thought this season was going to bring a bowl game. And that keeps you talking football for another month. And unfortunately, just how it kind of works in stuff, in life and sports, is some of the great equity that we built. And the 10,000 new season tickets, I don't know. You can't count on that being back because now we're back to the arms folded. It's just hard. And look at the game. That we won 5 of the ridiculously close ones and lost 3 of the ridiculously close ones. So we were better than 500 on those. And we won. I mean, how do you feel after Maryland? How do you feel after Minnesota and the John Paddock game? I mean, unbelievable. Indiana was pretty exciting. But it feels like you wasted Johnny Newton. It was like, the secondary was so depleted from last year. And we're talking 3 or 4, for sure 3, maybe all 4 in the NFL right now, including the 5th pick overall, the $30 millionaire Devin Witherspoon. So you can't really replace that, I know, but I don't know. When you lose, you question everything. Gosh, do we have the right defensive coordinator? Do we? Did you go to Tip Ryman enough? Did we? And tight end? Why didn't we pass it? All these things when you lose.
Yeah.
And they're all brutal losses. I mean, they're just brutal. And Northwestern, come on, man. They're hazing guys. They're going to close their football program. There goes the $200 million football stadium. Now they win 7. Stadium is back. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Big Ten Coach of the Year. I mean, all that changes in a few. Winning. That's what it does.
It's true.
All right, so we'll pack it in, and who cares about the bowl?
That's
who cares
right.
about anything?
Right.
Who cares about Michigan? They got to be an 18-point favorite over Iowa, don't they? Iowa's not going to get a touchdown on Michigan, are they? They're terrible.
But Iowa beat Nebraska 13-10.
Yeah, another exciting game.
Michigan over Ohio State 30-24.
I tell you what, they're buzzing in Columbus. Believe me, Ryan Day, they're 11-12-1, 11-1, whatever they are. They've lost one time, and they're buzzing in Columbus.
They were ranked number 2?
Well, they're ranked not anymore, and they're probably not going to make the bowl championship series, are they? I don't know. Columbus had a great year, but they're buzzing because Ryan Day has the audacity to lose 3 out of 4 in a row. He's 1-3 to Michigan's lost 3 in a row. That's not acceptable over there. They don't like that. Well, you only lost 1. They lost to Michigan.
Okay.
And Jim Harbaugh, does it matter that the head coach is on the sideline, or does it matter who you get? A lot of it matters who you get, because Jim Harbaugh is 3-0 being at home watching on the TV. So does it matter?
Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, moms and dads, boys and girls, we have a Stever, an offer from being kind of a cold feel. Felt like winter yesterday. Going to warm up again this week. Going to be in the 40s after today, I think. I'm going to give out batteries for your vehicle since that's kind of good timing. If you would like to win a car, truck, or van battery, I'll pay the whole darn thing from Interstate Batteries. Outrageously dependable. All you have to do to enter is go to GoStever.com. You can only win this once. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Spread the wealth. Mm-hmm. It's like our socialism type effort here in America. So we will spread the wealth and let others win. So just go to GoStever.com. It's up right now. And if you've never won from Mark Martinez, who owns Interstate Batteries North Mattis, as you drive toward the high school, St. Thomas More.
2504 North Mattis, Stevie.
Yep. Okay, so there you go. And the surveys coming back from Mark's team are just impressive.
Well, especially that they go out to your vehicle and they check your battery to find out how it's doing. And if you need another one, they're just honest and dependable and fast and everything you need. Interstate battery right there for you.
Okay. Yeah, just friendly customer service, excellent. Staff, excellent. I mean, they rate so well. People are very, and what I think really shocks people, it's like 20 minutes, boom, in and out.
Right. That's what I mean.
All right. And again, they don't check your battery on this. They just replace it. I guess if you're curious on how your battery was. Every 4 years, they say you kind of need a new battery. All right. So GoStever.com. It's right there. GoStever.com. So what about the young people today? How are they feeling about their life? How are they feeling about work? It's different. It's definitely different. And we're going to discuss that here coming up. Apparently, young adults are struggling. What are they struggling with?
I mean, is it social media stuff and
meaning
pressures?
And purpose.
Oh, meaning and purpose.
They're struggling with why.
I see.
Rising rates of depression and anxiety among American teens has gotten attention. Young adults may be struggling even more. We got a survey to discuss. We got a mental health advocate on. Stand by. We'll address the difficult issue.
And to me, part of this is the parents are under so much stress that, you're kind of just letting your kid figure it out because you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into that coming up. 7:29. It is Monday. It is November 27. It is ESPN 93.5.
Hi, Randy Graham here with Curtis Orchard. Thank you for giving us People's Choice Awards. Best family-friendly business, date spot, outdoor amusement, pies, bakery, kids' activities, and place for kids' parties. Speaking of pies and bakery, have you tried our delicious treats? Apple crisp donuts, fritters, pumpkin bars with cream cheese icing, and of course pies, apple, peach, cherry, pumpkin, pecan, and blackberry cobbler. Stop and load up today or order ahead. You can even buy pies frozen to bake at home. Visit CurtisOrchard.com to learn more.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. There are negotiations happening over which hostages and prisoners should be swapped between Hamas and Israel on what's scheduled to be the last day of a 4-day truce. There's talk of extending it to get more hostages home, but some are unaccounted for and may be held by groups other than Hamas.
I've seen the reports that Hamas says that it can't locate all of them. That is, of course, horrific beyond measure.
Israeli government spokesman Avon Levy. 2 missiles are fired toward a U.S. Navy ship, the USS Mason, responding to a tanker ship's distress call in the Gulf of Aden.
The MV Central Park had been hijacked, and the suspected hijackers were arrested as they tried to get away. U.S. officials tell us 2 missiles were then fired from a part of nearby Yemen, controlled by the Iran-backed Houthi militia.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The missiles fell short. Those 5 suspected hijackers are being questioned by the U.S. military. A Japanese destroyer assisted with the operation. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, a mysterious superbug that's been sickening and killing dogs across Illinois and 13 other states might have been identified. It still has no name, but researchers at the University of New Hampshire are describing the microorganism as a funky bacterium. Symptoms include difficulty breathing, fatigue, and acute pneumonia. It doesn't respond to antibiotics. Inmates at the Champaign County Jail soon receiving the benefit of free phone calls. The county sheriff's office selecting a company that provides the county with investigative features, but also offers inmates 2 free phone calls a month. County officials say this will help inmates with families who are struggling financially. Illinois Attorney General's office is cautioning residents to be wary of scams as they tackle Black Friday. Warning applies to online scams in particular. Attorney General's office warns people to watch out for so-called buy now, pay later plans. Online loans are another possible source for those scams. Those are prevalent throughout the holidays. Be careful. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you by Busey for over 150 years, member FDIC, and by Watts Copy Systems. Problems with your current copier vendor regarding service? Well, call Greg Wolf at Watts Copy Systems, 217-352-0428. Where service is more than a promise. A locally owned, family-owned, employee-owned Illinois business, Watts Copy Systems.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and Van and vicinity. And as expected, a little more of an early winter look and feel over the back end of the holiday weekend and early on this week, with temperatures more or less at early December levels. Pretty much the story these waning days, typical of late November. Nice turnaround expected later this week, and an increasingly wet and active one shaping up as well. For the day today, partly sunny, breezy, and cold. Still a couple of lingering snow flurries from time to time. Just 33 the expected high. West wind will add a chill at 12 to 24 and gusty. Quite cold tonight. We'll clear things off this evening. Lows around 15. On a gusty west wind, we'll compute wind chills tomorrow morning. Sunny cold, just 28. Down near 20 and rising temperatures tomorrow night. Mostly sunny, breezy, a bit milder on Wednesday afternoon. Actually much milder. Highs up to about 42. Rain moves in late Thursday into Friday. Back in for Sunday. High temperatures in the 40s. Nights in the mid to upper 30s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, we've talked just moments ago about some of the reason young people are wondering why they're here. They're struggling with meaning and purpose. Mental health advocate, executive director of a nonprofit called Grammy, which stands for Getting Real with Mental Illness. Dina Payton, how are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great. It's Getting Real about mental illness.
Yeah, this is not something particularly new, but maybe new for this age, or is it?
Well, I think it's always been here, but society has dealt with it in a different way because of the stigmatization of mental illness, because of the way that spiritually the world is changing, I think, and because we're becoming more isolated. You know, at least now with all of the current cases that have come out, like mine, it's starting to bring awareness of how serious this issue is. And the people that are walking around, like our first responders, dealing with all of us, are traumatized and they're not able to get help. Like our young people, a lot of times, you know, they have been isolated for so long, and they're being raised by parents that are at an age where it was not popular, it was embarrassing, shameful to admit there was a problem. So it's almost like the sins of the father coming up, and that last bit of isolation, and with the media, with social media like it is, these kids are not connected to anybody.
I must tell people you're in Huntsville, Alabama, in case they think you're from Canada with that accent. Just kidding.
I know it, and I was a teacher. I hope you can understand me.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love that southern accent. I think COVID was kind of gas on a fire, wasn't it? It was just a mess.
Well, that is when my son, in a mental health breakdown, had a stand with the local law enforcement. It was COVID, and that's when he lost his life. He was shot 16 times. And I know
you dropped a little bit out, so give me your story again. This sounds horribly heartbreaking. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so he had been in recovery because I believe that a lot of times drugs and alcohol lead to even a deeper mental illness, like schizophrenia, things like that. But he had left my home, and he walked down the street. He was just feeling hopeless, and I didn't know what to do for him. Didn't realize the severity. He crawled on top of Ted's barbecue, and somebody called 911, and I'm asleep. And before it was over, 3 news stations were covering it. The police were trying to talk him down, and after 3.5 hours, he came down to get cigarettes, and they beanbagged him, I guess, and he ran, and ultimately it ended up with him being shot 16 times, and it was a turning point in the city.
So that got you to say, I need to help others?
Well, not at first. At first, I fought for accountability and transparency because I'm a mother and a professor and a citizen. And then I reframed that. I started working with local law enforcement and judges, and I realized at one point the trauma that first responders are going through, because I was seeing it through my eyes, but then I was able to see what happens to them. And the fact, I taught the military, and the military for a long time couldn't admit that they had trauma or issues. So we're putting people back out over and over that are in charge of us. And I thought, I can't change the world, but I can change the first responders' lives one at a time. I mean, it's powerful what has happened in our little city.
So you would suggest that Champaign-Urbana, Illinois, and other towns pick up this kind of program that you've implemented. Tell me what that is.
Okay, so what we do 3 things. Our number one is to destigmatize, because if you can talk about it, it allows people to feel freer to get help. 2, I'm a big advocate for crisis intervention. Anytime, like even with your children that are starting to show signs of anger and acting out, calming that situation down changes it. And 3, what we're doing is we are allowing first responders to go to private licensed therapy, and we pay all of it. So even if they had insurance, somehow or the other, it's still trapped in their mind. So we're creating this bond of trust that the only people that know would be my treasurer as we pay for that. And we've done all this on our own. We're only a year old, and we've already sent 2 police officers to crisis intervention training, and we've sent our first responder through therapy. So we're so excited about that.
Well, good for you, Adina. How can people reach you? How can they connect with you and what you're doing down there in Huntsville?
Thank you for reminding me of that. The website is called GrammyUS.org, GrammyUS.org. And you can send me an email, and I would be happy to explain the program to you. I think ultimately the United States will pick this up as we realize we're not doing it. And that is Grammy at GrammyUS.org. And that's GRAMI.
You'd mentioned early in the visit here, Adina, that kind of lost our way spiritually. I think that's our answer. I really, really do. A faith in the Bible, a faith in the New Testament and Jesus. I think that can change everything. It's just kind of where the world is right now. We're a mess. And without some sort of foundation and peace, I just don't know how we solve this ourselves.
Yes, sir. When this happened to me, I thought that I was connected. I was teaching Sunday school. But it was in that moment that I was able to really connect and see that is the solution. But you can't go to people that are suffering. You have to give the solution to people the way they can hear it.
Yeah.
And you have to pull them in, like at this time of year, just notice what's happening, because a mentally ill person can't tell you what they need.
Yeah. You're right. No, it is a huge need, and I think COVID exacerbated it to where it is everywhere. I think what was it? The number was 1 out of 3 of men.
1 in 4. I'm looking it up with NAMI.
I think it's more.
National Alliance on Mental Illness. We've worked with them on a walk and more awareness in our area. But Adina, you're just a champion for this cause, and we appreciate you stepping up and speaking out about this.
And I would guess it's more than 1 out of 4, Adina. I really would.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm not a saint. I was kind of living in my bubble until this happened to my son. And then I had to do something. I realized, we don't have the resources, but until somebody speaks up, it was very difficult to stand up because I was like fighting a battle that people said couldn't be won. And, with God, He surprises you a lot. And it was kind of a David Goliath type thing. But as this is rolling out, I get phone calls and emails about what do I do to connect. People need connection. Because I was in my home for a year fighting about this alone during COVID, grieving my son's death. And so it's a beautiful thing what's happening in Huntsville, because we are starting to bring awareness that first responders don't. We worry about our children, but these first responders are children in a big body. They have taken trauma and more trauma, and then we wonder why we have some of these instances on TV because we did not help them when they needed it, and they certainly couldn't even tell us.
Adina Payton, thank you for being on. Our prayers with you and what you're doing. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Adina Payton on the Tapman's Towing phone line.
Grammy, GRAMI, US.org for details or to connect with Adina.
Adina Payton, Peyton, if you're interested. All right, 7:44, ESPN 93.5. Got a little Brett Bielema to play for you one more time this season.
Okay.
We'll get that from the post game coming up.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Giving Tuesday is coming up on November 28th. Habitat Restore is located at 1914 Glen Park Drive in Champaign. You can make some donations. You can shop this holiday season. You can even do gift wrapping December 16th through the 24th, sponsored by Ameren. Look for Habitat for Humanity in front of Macy's and H&M. For more details on how to get into the spirit, visit cuhabitat.org.
I got Brett Bielema from the locker room. When he said BS, I edited out the S part.
A little on the frustrating side with Northwestern's win 45-43, and especially the clutch last 5 minutes of the game, I feel like.
I think it's impossible to call a charging in basketball. I think it's impossible to call all the holding that goes on in a football game. Because you're not aware of it all the time, you don't have 2-point games in football every game. It's just crazy, the closeness of these wins and losses. It's unbelievable. Here's Coach Bielema after the ball game.
Obviously very disappointed in the results. I've never, through these 12 games, ever questioned the heart, the desire, the fight, the faith, the belief that these guys have had. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to will us through where we were today. it was the first game of the year, the last game of the year here, that nothing has ever changed. What we try to preach these guys, that more games are lost than won, and unfortunately we did enough things today to cause us defeat. Give credit to Northwestern. They're obviously able to achieve a win, but to give up 24 points out of on turnovers, you just never going to win games like that. Never. So extremely frustrating. A lot of guys stepped up. We were really thin in the back end, and then Taz had practiced all week and obviously wasn't able to go out there today. He tried on the front end, and then to lose Xavier Scott really thinned up that room in a hurry, and that was something they continue to come back and attack, and we're just the good news is, right, we can go out and recruit and have an opportunity for some of these younger players to get better. The flip side of it is we're just running real thin at times there in the back end, but guys showed resiliency offensively. Casey Washington was just incredible today. He's just a microcosm today of what I've seen all year, just a really good competitive spirit, and even down to that last touchdown. And I think the 2-point play, it's just complete bullshit on the call. The guy held him. I was trying to get him to say, I thought they called defensive holding, and if they call defensive holding, tip doesn't matter. But that's just one play, but it sucks that the season comes down to that, right? So very frustrating. And if there is one word, I know I'm going to get this a lot, right? What's the 2023 season? And it's just extremely frustrating in so many different levels that we've dealt with through 12 games. So unfortunately, not a lot of analysis ahead of us. Have an extremely challenging next 3 or 4 days. Going to have a lot of conversations with guys that are on our program, guys that have been moving on from our program, guys that have played their last game and we've known it, but other guys that we have conversations with to see where we can go. So I know where we are 3 years from where we got here. And how much growth we've had, but it obviously didn't put us in postseason play, which is everything. So I'm frustrated, but it's not lost on a lot of good young players that got better, a lot of old players that put in a lot of good work, effort, and time to help us change this environment, and hopefully going to get us on a track to move forward in the future. But sorry, disappointed. I thought there was a good crowd out there today. For those that showed up, I appreciate it. You were there till the end, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get it. So,
all right, that's Brett Bielema after the ball game, obviously, and he said there's one word: frustrating. I would offer 3 words: peaks and valleys. I mean, I just don't ever remember sheer fist-pumping exuberance followed by sheer just disappointment. I mean, it's just like, holy cow, that just happened, and then that just happened, all in the same 5 minutes.
Yep.
It is just yeah. And we're gonna miss Johnny Newton. He's gonna be a first-day draft pick, so he'll make a lot of money. He's even if he went 10th pick, it's like $14 million. It's just a lot of money for the young man. So good for him. And I don't know, Keith Randolph, I don't know, struggled with an ankle. I don't know. I guess he'll get drafted, but I don't know where. I don't think it'll be a first-day thing for him because I just don't think he's at the level of Johnny Newton. So it'll be sad. Bye-bye.
Well, John Paddock with 334 yards and 3 touchdowns. Is it he's wrapped in?
6 years. Okay. Yeah, he's done. I mean, I don't know if he plays any pro football. I mean,
okay.
He certainly is threw for a lot of yards in 3 games. He really did. I thought he did a very nice job. Luke Altmaier's our guy moving forward.
Okay.
Luke will be on after 4 today with the boys. And, of course, Jay Lehman at 3 o'clock hour. See what the wonderful Big Ten analyst who's on Saturday night's Big Ten does a super job on TV. But Jay will be in our studio. Kind of give us kind of wrap it. But it's just, such a shame.
Yeah.
Just such a shame because
it is.
We had a lot of hope. There's some games in there we thought you're just going to.
Got the momentum going.
Yeah, and you won 8 last year, went to a January 1st bowl game, marching the line, all that fun.
Yeah.
And I really felt strongly that this was going to be another bowl year. Again, my goal was 6, and I couldn't get there.
Right.
Now, by the way, Minnesota's 5-7. Like we are, and they're going to a bowl.
Oh, they are.
There are a few teams that make bowls at 5-7. Not that I think a zillion people would go from the Illini Nation because they're just when you disappoint a fan base, fair or unfair, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
And Illinois fans are disappointed in football, and that's just the way it goes. We were so happy last year. We're so sad this year in our season. Just there were some great moments. again, you win it. Maryland, we didn't think that was going to happen. Last-second kick. Minnesota, 4th and no way. There's just no way.
Yeah.
So we had great moments followed by great disappointment.
Dang it.
It's just hard.
So number 3, Michigan, taking down number 2, Ohio State, 30-24, has set up Michigan, and Iowa, who took down Nebraska 13-10 in the Big Ten Championship on Saturday the 2nd at 7 o'clock. That's happening over in Indianapolis. Of course, number 1, Georgia, and number 8, Alabama, 2 o'clock on Saturday the 2nd. Also, some football. People are looking forward to watching all of that. Well, we had the Indianapolis Colts over Tampa Bay 27-20, and the Bears are in Minnesota tonight for Monday Night Football at 7:15.
Yeah, and I have a hard time caring about anything on this season.
I know.
I said 18 points. Iowa would be getting 18 points against Michigan in this is the Big Ten championship game now. This is the last time it happens this way, by the way, and that's a good thing because Iowa is a 23-point underdog in a Big Ten title game. Oklahoma, Texas.
Mitch had texted that in, and
there's the 23 by far. Oklahoma, Texas is 14. Texas giving 14 to Oklahoma. But otherwise, this week's point spread, that's the biggest. Iowa getting 23 in a Big Ten championship. So, and the score is going to be 34-10, something like that. Michigan's so much better than Iowa.
Because they cheat, but who's looking at that
What's
now?
that? Oh, the scandal in Michigan. Well,
Sign stealers.
They could win a national championship, those Sign Steelers.
Yes.
They punished Jim Harbaugh now. He had to sit out 3 games.
He could not be in the building.
Yeah, he can't coach those last 3, but he can practice and teach them during the week.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. What would happen to Illinois if we got caught? Oh, boy.
Right.
Would we have soccer? Would we have anything left with?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Stripping it all
yeah.
away.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Bye.
But who's looking at that?
Nobody. All right, we check our weather. ESPN 93.5. It's 25 degrees this morning.
I know, rather brisk.
Yep.
Logan everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Van vicinity as expected. A touch of winter time over the back end of the holiday weekend. That continues into the first part of this week on cold westerly winds and still a couple of lingering snowflakes in the air for the day today. Big turnaround in temperatures. Welcome to the El Nino setup. We'll see readings back to and above seasonal expectations come the middle part of the week and perhaps a few degrees above that heading into the weekend early next week as well. No shortage of wet weather systems on the maps and charts as well. Partly sunny, breezy, cold for the day today. High temperature with a couple of snowflakes in the air at 33. Clearing off this evening, cold 15 and low. On the west wind, we've got wind chills to compute tomorrow morning. Sunny, cold west wind, high near 28. But a breezy and milder Wednesday afternoon with sunshine gets us to 42. Some rain late Thursday into Friday. That's December 1st. Temperatures well into the 40s both days, but maybe dropping Friday afternoon. Peak of sun Saturday, 45. More rain Sunday, highs near 48. Close to 50 early next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
So kind of cold today, tomorrow, but 40s for the rest of the week, which is awesome. All right, so the Philo tree lighting and parade, Diane, it was awesome.
It was so great just to see the community come out. And yeah, it was brisk for sure. With us getting some snow on Sunday morning and then coming into the scene, it was definitely brisk. But I sure appreciate all the Christmas fans coming out, all the coordinators and volunteers for putting together such a great, experience for everybody as we get into the holiday season. And of course, the Knights of Columbus putting up this huge tree. We're thinking 32 feet, but it could be more.
I don't know. It's big. It's big and wide. Big and wide.
And like David Happ and the crew, they're all spotting stuff for next year and planning things out. They are ready for this tradition to continue. And it was the 4th annual parade here in downtown Philo yesterday, and 97-year-old Alvin Decker was the Grand Marshal.
Yeah.
And he's still just spry, and he has that old Model A.
97? I think it was 98.
Okay, maybe
anyway.
1926, I think they said was the birthday year. Anyway, generations of farmers in the Decker family, and lived here all of his life, except for when he was in the service and did 2 tours of duty. So we sure appreciate his imprint on our community here in Philo. And we're looking forward to Tolono's on December 9th, and that has 12 stops, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., our tree lighting in front of the Masonic Hall at 6 o'clock, and we're looking forward to those festivities. Now, coming up this Saturday, the 2nd, Philo has their breakfast with Santa. I'll be calling out the bingo. And then, it's going to be a whole lot of fun with the tree lighting at the library that your mother has been a part of many years.
I think I'll be there.
December 3rd, and that's 3 to 5 type of window.
Yeah, I think we'd light the tree around 4. Seeing a few Christmas carols. I usually lead that.
And the ornaments and things like that that the kids can make for the tree in the 3 o'clock hour on a Sunday. So still lots of festivities to come. We also have on the 2nd, Sydney has a lot of things, and they'll have a parade at 5 o'clock. And of course, the Champaign Center Partnerships Parade, I'd say maybe 1,500 people, a couple thousand. It was a lot of people as we lit the tree, with Santa being the last entry on the Christmas parade there. And the Parade of Lights was just so fun on Saturday night, and calling that out on the balcony.
Yeah, well, texter, kudos to Diane for being the MC.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I was having trouble at one point trying to find what entry is what on Philo's parade, because sometimes it's not very clear of, is this the Girl Scouts or is this the 4-H friends, or, as far as the signage and things like that.
Well, thank you for doing all that.
Okay, no problem.
All right, going to break for the news. We'll be back. I'm out of the loop, but what does daycare cost?
Ooh, it's expensive.
We will delve into how parents are dealing with the cost of daycare, because it's
grandparents is a good solution.
Like $50 a week now, or what is it? I'm out of the
here
loop.
My daughter Anna's at Little Heart and Hands Academy, and I know she says it's high.
Well, we'll get the details next.
Ross went out. I always told him to be careful, and that was the last time I got to see him.
Because someone didn't slow down and move over. Ross had on a bright orange shirt with reflective stripes the night he was killed.
He always had that smile. He just lit up the room when he came in.
Slow down and move over when you see flashing lights. Everybody is somebody.
When you see lights flashing, use caution passing. Let's all go home safe tonight.
ILLINI. Cheer on the Illini at Pia's. The pregame fun starts at Pia's Sports Bar and Grill. Pia's serves up its famous 10-ounce Slugger Burger along with great wings and so much more. Enjoy 350 22-ounce light and course light drafts every home and away Illini game. Watch the game at Pia's or ride the free shuttle to all home games. You'll find it all at Pia's with live video gaming, sports, food, drinks, and fun. See you at Pia's, West Springfield Avenue in Champaign.
Okay, so I'm a little off. I suggested $50 a week for daycare. 217 texter, for quality daycare, you're talking $300 plus a week.
Wow.
We'll be right back.
359-2255.
Holy moly. This is WSJK, Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana. It is 8 o'clock in the Twin Cities.
The last set of Israeli hostages expected to be set free soon. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. On the fourth and final day of a ceasefire deal, Hamas has already released more than 50 hostages as more humanitarian aid flows into Gaza. This woman's 3 grandchildren among those set free yesterday.
We hug them a lot, again and again and again. We cry a lot. We laugh a lot.
A 4-year-old Israeli-American, Abigail Adan, was also set free. Her parents were killed last month. Another of the hostages released in a swap for Palestinian prisoners is frail, in critical condition.
Alma Avraham, and she is 84 years old. And according to her daughter, she was not given the medicine that she needed when she was held for more than 50 days by Hamas.
Fox's Trey Yingsten, Israel.
The Israelis are working diplomatic channels today to try to get more hostages out and possibly extend this ceasefire deal. It comes as Elon Musk visited Israel today. He traveled with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to a small community called Kfar Aza that sits near the Gaza border, where
And the Musk's ex-social media company's been under scrutiny over controversial posts about the war on what used to be Twitter. Was a weekend shooting motivated by hate? That's a question in Burlington, Vermont, where a suspected gunman's due in court today.
Jason Eaton is in custody in connection with the shooting of the 3 men who were all 20 years old and wearing black and white Palestinian keffiyeh scarves. Investigators say the men were walking near the University of Vermont when they were confronted by a white man with a handgun who, without speaking, fired at least 4 rounds, hitting the men.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. It's Cyber Monday, the biggest online shopping day of the year, with many buying while working. It's estimated we'll spend $12 billion. 3 days of tributes begin in Georgia, where former First Lady Rosalind Carter will lie in repose at the Carter Presidential Library. President Biden will attend a memorial service tomorrow. The burial's Wednesday. She died at age 96, with ex-President Jimmy Carter by her side. He's 99, also in hospice care. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, you're up next. My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Recent data from the FDIC reveals 53 top banks could soon collapse just like Silicon Valley Bank. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon, and I urge you to diversify your savings today using a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To find out more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to the number 989898 and protect what's yours.
The U.S. has been targeted again in the Middle East after dozens of attacks aimed at American forces based in Iraq and Syria. Iran-backed Houthi rebels from Yemen fired missiles at a U.S. warship, but they fell into the sea miles away. The tension keeps growing along the Korean border following North Korea's launch of a military spy satellite the U.S. says is a provocation that it violates UN resolutions.
South Korea says the North is restoring a section of frontline guard posts. 11 of these had been either disarmed or dismantled in 2018 in an attempt to lower the risk of confrontation. But that deal looks in danger of collapse. The launch of a North Korean spy satellite last week prompted Seoul to resume aerial surveillance on the front. Pyongyang says it'll no longer be bound by the 2018 agreement. The South Korean military has been ordered to keep a close watch. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Kids will finally be back in school this morning in Portland, Oregon for the first time all month.
The Portland School District saying late Sunday that it reached a tentative agreement with its teachers union and that students would be back in class today after more than 3 weeks without classes. The deal that still requires a vote includes double-digit cost of living increases, more class prep time, and mental health support, with teachers union president Angela Bonilla calling the agreement a win.
We all came together, we stuck together, and that's what made this possible.
Some 45,000 students and their parents were left scrambling and frustrated with no classes or online instruction since Halloween, class time that students will have to make up. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures down modestly before the opening bell this hour. In the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens, number one in the AFC with a 9-3 record after a win last night over the LA Chargers. The Philadelphia Eagles beat Buffalo in overtime. The Eagles have the best record in the NFL, 10-1. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Well, the governor says it's unacceptable that tens of thousands of Illinois residents go to sleep each night in shelters or in vacant buildings. He made the comment last week of the Supporting Housing Providers Association. Illinois has given the organization $6.5 million towards the group's mission of providing affordable and stable housing to the homeless. Champaign County Forest Preserve District aiming to make stargazing easier with the inclusion of a new trail at one of its forest preserve, Middle Fork River Forest Preserve, designated as International Dark Sky Park in 2018. Based on the exceptionally starry nights visible from the preserve and its nocturnal environment. Next year's election season begins today. Candidates who want to make the spring primary ballot can begin turning in the paperwork today. There could be a large crowd at the state elections office in Springfield as candidates line up to try and be the first on the ballot. Paperwork for the spring ballot due to the state by the following Monday. And that's a look at what's happening on your Monday. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. Our meteorologist is Greg Solier. My daughter Grace gets married Saturday, and by golly, I was just hoping for no winter storm, and I think we'll be blessed with that news, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. A quiet weather picture, kind of weak high pressure in control. Will be another Pacific system getting its act together across the plains. So there may be some struggle in trying to get some maybe sunshine in here during the course of the day, at least the way we see it. Probably light winds and the moisture that we will have picked up over Thursday and Friday. Rain, and still should be basically wet ground. So this time of the year, fog and low clouds could be a little bit of an issue. That could be the story in the morning. Maybe some peaks of sun in the afternoon. But again, no harsh cold. I think we talked about that on weeks gone by around here, with probably early afternoon readings on Saturday somewhere close to about 44, 45 degrees, just maybe a degree or two above average. So for that time of the year, that's a nice wedding gift, compliments of Mother Nature. 26 out the door this morning. Yeah, it's a winter feel out there. The look of the same in some areas over the back end of the holiday weekend. 24 at Rantoul, 21 Bloomington normal. Teens out across Iowa, single digits across the Dakotas. Yeah, there's about a couple of days worth of cold weather before we start the moderation process. Partly sunny, breezy, cold as mentioned for the day-to-day. Temperatures about 10 shy of normal. And maybe an errant snow flurry comes along. 33 the high, west wind 12 to 24, and gusty. Yeah, wind chills are low this morning. They'll be again even lower tomorrow morning, with a low down to 15 tonight. Gusty west wind, skies clear this evening. Tomorrow sunny, cold, more or less like early January, with a high at 28 on a west wind. Temperatures will rise slowly late tomorrow night, and we should get to about 42 on Wednesday with an increasing south wind and sunshine. Some rain late Thursday into Friday. 47 on Thursday, 46 on Friday, up to 45 as mentioned on Saturday. A little more rain on Sunday, nothing Monday. High temperatures still well into the 40s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Peter Olchis, Greg Soldier.
Well, Natalie Boyle has jumped on the phone. Good morning, Natalie.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for being on. She's a national thought leader on childcare and CEO and founder of Annie's Place, a first-of-its-kind nonprofit organization that supports families by providing safe, loving childcare. And I threw out before the top of the hour, I'm a little out of childcare age now, but I said, what, $50 a week? Somebody had checked in, said 300 plus a week now for quality daycare. And somebody said I had 3 in at once and spent $23,000 that year. Holy cow, Natalie, what is the, tell me, A, what happened? B, what did you do?
Okay, well, so in general, what happened with childcare overall is the pandemic, essentially. Now, childcare had been a difficult thing for a long time, but a huge number of childcare centers closed and never reopened. And then the rest of the childcare centers were relying on these subsidy payments that were allowing them to pay their staff a living wage and things like that. Well, unfortunately, those ended on September 30th. So now we're headed to this place where in the next 6 to 12 months, some estimates have another 70,000 childcare centers in the country closing because they cannot make the numbers work. And so, because they can't just pass the cost along to families. Families can't pay anymore, but they've got to pay their teachers more because there's this national labor shortage. And so, in general, that's kind of what happened and how we got here. And so in terms of what I do and what Annie's Place does is we started off really, so I'm a cancer survivor, and my twins were 18 months old when I got diagnosed. And I kind of lived through that and how hard that was. And that was with all of my family and the ability to hire a nanny sometimes. And then just started really thinking about what do people do that don't have those options. And when my friend Annie got colon cancer and didn't have someone to watch her kids, I kind of sent a nanny to her, and we started fundraising. And that really grew over the last 9 years into us looking at childcare as a social determinant of health in a bigger way. And so now we partner with hospitals, and we provide free on-site childcare for patients. So if you're getting chemotherapy, if you're getting, preventative treatment, whatever it might be, don't miss your appointments because you don't have childcare. And then also opening these full-time childcare centers for hospital staff. Because when you're talking about some of the labor shortages, one of the biggest shortages we have right now is in nurses. And a lot of that comes down to this childcare issue. And so we're trying to solve our little piece of it. But I think it's going to, what we really need is a lot of creative solutions put together in a patchwork to kind of help families and centers be able to get through this.
Wow. Okay, Natalie Boyle on the Tapman's Joint phone line. 217 texter says, my wife stays home now due to the cost of child care. Her check would have gone to daycare for just one child. We have two. And so we're hearing those stories, I guess, all over the place. So right now you started with kind of the hospital subsidizing for their employees, and now you're branching out to where, how would it work? Who pays?
Well, so the way that it works in terms of, for our patient care, it's free of cost because we're a nonprofit. So we raise philanthropy dollars to cover that. But then really the system that we have with hospitals is they provide all of our overhead. So, for example, Parkland, which is our first center, which is a public hospital in Dallas, they provide the building rent-free and utilities and security and IT and janitorial and all of those extra things, which means that we can charge our families a reasonable price and still pay our teachers living wage because we don't have that overhead.
That's a smart idea. And you said Parkland. Of course, we talked about John Kennedy last week, 60 years at the anniversary of the assassination. That's Parkland Hospital where you just mentioned. So if hospitals like our Carl OSF provided a space and did all the electricity and the janitorial, all those things that are huge overhead.
Yeah.
Then the money, you could cut a $350 a week thing down to what, $150, $175, $200, something like that.
Yeah, and then what you have is, and keep the quality. And I think that's
the key. Everybody wants the best one, and I would too. We did. I mean, it's just a whole thing for sure, because you don't want somebody just opening up at their home because they could take a couple extra cans.
Right.
Boy, you're just scared to death of that.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just a real issue. So do you see this Annie's Place kind of growing? What do you think?
We do. We always developed it as a pilot. So we have our first one that's been open for a few years now. We're actually just finalizing and getting ready to start construction on our second location, also in Dallas. But then what we're trying to develop at this moment is a way that we can teach others. I mean, I can't open 2,000 child care centers, right? But what we can do is figure out a way to teach other people how to do it. And so, I definitely would recommend, while we're still building that practice, but if anyone wants to reach our organization, is anniesplacecares.org, and just, reach out, and I'm happy to share as much as I can, because really for me, I've become such a advocate for the child care space because unfortunately there's not enough of us out there. And so in addition to working for hospitals, these kinds of solutions can work for small office buildings.
I was thinking the same thing. If you have a profitable company and you've got that, boy, you're going to draw workers, aren't you?
Right.
Yep, and you can actually, some of the studies we've seen about a 40 to 60% reduction in turnover if you have on-site childcare. Just think about it. If you love your childcare, if your kid's happy, you're not going to leave that company until they go to school.
No. That's a huge deal. And I bet you some are doing that, the bigger ones that have a little more margin perhaps. But that's as good as healthcare.
Well,
if you get healthcare for your family, you never leave your job. Same for if you have daycare.
To me, Natalie, the churches also have a great space to host a daycare. Is that being looked at in the church spaces, in the parish halls?
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea and a great solution. I think there are some that are doing it, and I think it's not as many as we would. So what it really... I started Annie's Place, no background in childcare or healthcare, just being like, this is a problem and I want to help, right? And 10 years later, here we are.
Good for you.
And I think that is somebody to stand up and just, I want to figure out how to help. And is that in parishes? Is that in schools? I mean, there's tons you could make. But I think it takes a lot of us stepping up and just being like, okay, I want to be, in on the solution. And for those people, I would really encourage, I am more than happy to talk to them and just give some ideas about how you could maybe make it work in your community.
All right, Natalie, how can people reach you again?
The best place is anniesplacecares.org.
Hey, listen, thanks for being on. Congratulations on your success.
Enlightening.
Great idea.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Natalie Boyle on the Tapman's Toying phone line down in Dallas.
Talking about the expensive daycare and some of the issues with some of them closing around the nation.
Yeah.
And what are you doing? 359-2255. If you'd like to participate in the conversation here on ESPN 93.5. Well, not so much when it comes to postseason for our Illini, Stevie. Northwestern won 45-43. We are 5-7, then 3-6 in the conference. Evidently, Indiana fired Coach Tom Allen.
Yeah, they're looking for a new head coach at Indiana. So
after 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And we're setting up the Big Ten championship in Indianapolis.
By the way, Tom Allen, Indiana coach, right? Basketball school. Who cares about football at Indiana?
Okay.
You got a lot better. You know what Tom Allen gets paid for leaving early?
$15 million.
More like 20.
Wow.
They're paying him $20 million to not coach their football team.
Wow.
$20 million for the Indiana football coach for leaving. Wow.
It's all worked in the deal, though.
No,
right?
it's just baked in the cake, and they really were fired up, and they extended him. They did all that stuff, and now they let him go, and some rich alum's going to have to come up with a little cash for a $20 million buyout for the Indiana football coach. That's expensive.
Well,
and who are they going to
only get tougher with Oregon, UCLA, USC, Washington joining the Big Ten next year.
Who takes the job? You're going into an 18-team conference that has one division with no breakout, and you're Indiana? I mean, they say, my goodness, that's a tough. I mean, what aspiring? You're going to have to get somebody that just excited to get the Big Ten. You're not going to get a top-flight person that's going to walk into the Indiana football situation, are you? Anyway, that's $20 million. That's pretty good coin.
So we have set up number 3 Michigan taking on number 17 Iowa for the Big Ten championship after their weekend wins, and number 1 Georgia and number 8 Alabama will also be a game at 2:00 that people will probably be watching on
Georgia,
Saturday,
Alabama
December
to me
2nd.
it would be. I mean, who's watching Iowa and Michigan? Is anybody in this county hearing my voice? Would anybody said, "Oh boy, I can't wait to watch this Big Ten matchup with Michigan and Iowa"? I mean, 25th choice? If it's between that and a rerun of Pawn Stars, I might flip it on.
Okay.
Maybe?
Gotcha.
No chance. I'm bitter.
Well, thanks
a little salty.
for setting things up so I can, not necessarily promote this week as people are excited about that because we're not. Illinois beat Western in basketball, 84-52. Next up will be Rutgers at 3:00. And we also had our Illinois women's basketball team winning. Next up for them Wednesday, Central Connecticut State at 6.
All right, Sam just texted me good news. Jim Harbaugh, even though he wasn't on the sideline, made $500,000 for beating Ohio State. Well, good for Jim.
Yeah.
And that makes us even saltier.
Exactly.
No, I'd watch Pawn Stars over the Michigan. It is 8:19.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and Van vicinity, and as expected, a little more of an early winter look and feel over the back end of the holiday weekend and early on this week, with temperatures more or less at early December levels. Pretty much the story these waning days, typical of late November. Nice turnaround expected later this week, and an increasingly wet and active one shaping up as well. For the day today, partly sunny, breezy, and cold. Still a couple of lingering snow flurries from time to time. Just 33 the expected high. West wind will add a chill at 12 to 24 and gusty. Quite cold tonight. We'll clear things off this evening. Lows around 15. On a gusty west wind, we'll compute wind chills tomorrow morning. Sunny cold, just 28. Down near 20 and rising temperatures tomorrow night. Sunny, breezy, a bit milder on Wednesday afternoon, actually much milder. Highs up to about 42. Rain moves in late Thursday into Friday, back in for Sunday. High temperatures in the 40s, nights in the mid to upper 30s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
It is Cyber Monday, the day to find deals online. It's expected to come in with around $12 billion in spending, up 5.4% from a year ago. Though Foot Locker shares are down 4.5%. Analysts at Citi are advising investors to sell Foot Locker shares. They believe Foot Locker still has too much unsold inventory, which is forcing it to cut prices. Bye Bye Baby is making a comeback with physical stores selling cribs and car seats. The chain's being revived after going bankrupt along with its former parent company Bed Bath & Beyond. The new owners plan to open 100 stores in the U.S. in the next 3 years and want to expand internationally. The chain plans to offer staff expertise as well as exclusive products. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jimiko Silva, invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation. Contact us at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Love talking about Habitat for Humanity. That's coming up. Busey proud to give back to the communities. Boy, the Busey Associates, some of the numbers and the things they do in their community. Nearly 200 associates actively commit to board service in various communities. Busey Associates have raised nearly $500,000 toward their Pay It Forward, Friday's payroll deduction initiative. They started that about 8-9 years ago. It's been very impressive. They also work 20,000 hours in their community. If you want information, Busey has something called the Impact Report, and you can take a look online at it and look at all the things they do. And just imagine tracking all that. It's a lot of work. Corporate sustainability practices, associate training, recognition and development, community development, reinvestment, and activities. It's all there. If you want to read more on this report, go to busey.com, busey.com/impact. It's Busey since 1868, member FDIC. Well, good morning, Rachel Voss. She is Development Director, CU Habitat for Humanity. Mm-hmm. We love that store. It's my wife's favorite store, Rachel.
Restore.
Restore. We love it. Rachel, how are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, congratulations on your new position here.
Thank you. It's been a wild 27 days, but I've enjoyed every minute of it.
All right, so you guys are active. Are you wrapping any gifts this year?
Yes, we are wrapping hopefully a lot of gifts this year at Marketplace Mall on December 16th through the 24th. We're wrapping all for suggested some donations to support building homes here in our community.
Now, I know I've done that before where I'm shopping at Marketplace Mall, and then I just take, essentially a big garbage bag with all my stuff in the boxes. And I was glad that I thought through to have Post-it notes saying, this one's for Dad, this one's for my sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that I knew after you guys done wrapping my bag of gifts and handing over the $20 or whatever it was, it's essentially $5 or so a gift, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we this year we're suggesting for a regular size gift to be about $3 per gift, and anything large would be about $4 per gift. But we'll take what anybody is willing to donate.
I mean, let me get real critical here. Do they look nice? Because if I did it, they'd be bunched at the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just don't know how to cut it right. Anyway.
I understand.
So
yeah,
you get any training going on? You get some veterans that get in there, that people that have done this before that are real good at it, make the little ribbony thing and all that stuff.
The crinkle ribbon.
Yeah. We have we usually have lots of volunteers who love this event and come back each year just to support us. And so I do believe we have some talented gift wrappers this year.
Well, that's awesome. The bottom line is it's done. And sometimes that's a real relief, particularly, for men that aren't real good at it, bunches at the end. Anyway, just give them $50, $100, dude. It's just giving money to the CU Habitat. I mean, come on, man.
Absolutely.
At cuhabitat.org, you can learn more about Champaign County's Habitat for Humanity and all the home builds that you do. Can you fill us in on your mission and the kind of home builds that you're doing?
Absolutely. Here at Habitat, it's our vision to have a place where everyone has a safe and decent, affordable place to call home. We are currently building about 4 to 5 houses a year. We have completed, since 1991, we have completed 129 houses and are actively building currently number 130 and 131 for our homeowners who we build and we work with them, but they are working about 300 hours volunteering with the Restore, building their own homes, and then as well as attending about 30 hours of financial education classes so that once they buy their home, once it's ready, they'll be able to maintain it and sustain it and be able to have their home for a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love all that. You're teaching them how to fish. So how do you track afterwards? Like, how did they do or how are they doing? Do you keep track at all?
Yeah, we love staying in contact with our homeowners. A lot of them will be volunteering or continue to volunteer. We do have on our board 2 homeowners are always on our board, so they continue to support Habitat through being on our board.
I think it's awesome.
So you're always looking for people with building materials or, and Restore when you're taking these donations at 1914 Glen Park Drive, right, Rachel?
Correct. We always would love to take some donations, especially if you've done some renovations on your home and you have too many materials left over. We would love to take those so that we could sell them or use them for our own builds.
Okay, Rachel, one more time. Wrapping at the mall. When times do we have that down?
We will be at the mall December 16th through the 24th. Times do vary between days, but we will be outside of H&M as well as Macy's.
That's right.
Awesome.
And nice to meet you, by the way. The Parade of Lights with Champaign Center Partnership. You were one of the judges on Saturday night. So fun. And I hope you had a good experience with all of that.
Yes, it was so much fun. You were an amazing MC, and I had a great time.
She is an amazing MC.
Thanks for saying that.
Rachel Voss, Development Director, cuhabitat.org. If you want information, thanks for being on.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, President of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first or you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Foster. A fourth exchange of hostages held by Hamas for Palestinians held in Israel is expected today, part of a 4-day ceasefire deal scheduled to expire tomorrow morning.
We know the Qataris and the Egyptians are working overtime today to try and get this deal expanded. The initial agreement
says that 10 hostages would have to be released for every additional day that sees a pause in fighting.
Fox's Trey Yangst, a 48-year-old man's arrested in the shooting of 3 Palestinian college students in Burlington, Vermont.
Jason Eaton is in custody in connection with the shooting of the 3 men who were all 20 years old and wearing black and white Palestinian keffiyeh scarves. Investigators say the men were walking near the University of Vermont when they were confronted by a white man with a handgun who, without speaking, fired at least 4 rounds, hitting the men.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. 2 of the shooting victims are American citizens, the other a legal resident. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. On to Monday, Illinois hunters harvesting 262 turkeys during the just completed 2023 season, the same number as last year. Best year for turkey hunting in Illinois was 2005 when 1,218 turkeys were bagged. The most turkeys of any county was Joe Daviess County with 23. Illinois Attorney General's office cautioning residents to be wary of scams as they tackled Black Friday, the warning applying to online scams in particular. The Attorney General's office warning people to watch out for so-called buy now, pay later plans, online loans, and other possible source for those scams. Illinois State Board of Education facing a growing number of funding requests from schools across the state while it figures out how to manage shrinking budgets. Advocates want to push a $550 million increase, but Superintendent Tony Sanders says he's unwilling to go beyond the $350 million mark. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hi, I'm Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons. Voting is a civic duty and responsibility that I work every day to protect and enhance as your county clerk. You have a choice to vote in person or by mail. The data shows that vote by mail is the most efficient way to vote. There are many reasons why, and here are a few. Instead of using your tax dollars for physical space and buying more election equipment, vote by mail allows us to reduce election costs. VBM increases overall voter turnout, and there's no need to schedule time off work or find transportation to cast your ballot. Just follow the step-by-step guidance we mail to you, fill out your ballot, and mail it back to our office. It's that easy. If you use one of the drop boxes located throughout the county, there's no charge for postage. Other states have universal VBM elections, and they see the savings and higher voter turnout we deserve. I strongly encourage you all to sign onto the permanent vote by mail list and vote from the comforts of your home. Go to ChampaignCountyClerkIL.gov and sign up now.
Again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Penn vicinity as expected. A touch of winter time over the back end of the holiday weekend. That continues into the first part of this week on cold westerly winds and still a couple of lingering snowflakes in the air for the day today. Big turnaround in temperatures. Welcome to the El Nino setup. We'll see readings back to and above seasonal expectations come the middle part of the week and perhaps a few degrees above that heading into the weekend early next week as well. No shortage of wet weather systems on the maps and charts as well. Partly sunny, breezy, cold for the day today. High temperature with a couple of snowflakes in the air at 33. Clearing off this evening, cold 15 the low. On a west wind, we've got wind chills to compute tomorrow morning. Sunny, cold west wind, high near 28. But a breezy and milder Wednesday afternoon with sunshine gets us to 42. Some rain late Thursday into Friday. That's December 1st. Temperatures well into the 40s both days, but maybe dropping Friday afternoon. Peak of sun Saturday, 45. More rain Sunday, highs near 48. Close to 50 early next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldgay.
If you're just tuning in, we talked about, Illinois football. We talked about the fact that Illinois basketball is off a week. That's all I got left now because there's no bowl game. Yeah. And we talked about the price of daycare. I threw out $50 a week, and I found out I was $275 a week short.
Right.
So we found out that COVID closed a lot of daycares. Work shortage. So you got to pay people, $15, $20 an hour at least. And then you got, what we talked to a woman in Dallas who suggested that, people that add them on to their business, what they're working with is a nonprofit called Annie's Place. Annie's Place Cares.org, I think was the website.
That's yep.
And a lot of hospitals, she's working with hospitals and others now that provides space. And if you have space, I mean, I, for whatever reason, thought of Frasca. They got a big old place out there. Maybe they should have daycare to draw employees, because if you got some free daycare, you can get all the LeBron James you want, because that's going to take, $1,500 off of that's a $1,500 a month raise for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you have 3 kids, that would be a huge success for a company that big enough that maybe could support something like that.
Right.
And just give them the space, and then you discount the number, because you still got to pay people to take care of it. It'd be a lot less than $3.25 a week. I had no idea it had gone to that number. It's pretty aggressive. And we do have a Stever today, my friends. I'm giving out car, truck, or van batteries just in time for winter. So if you need a battery, GoStever.com is where you go. It's a program where I give you money. You go spend it at a particular business. Today's great business is Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. It's located on North Mattis as you're driving toward the high school.
2504 North Mattis.
As you're driving toward the high school of St. Thomas More. So GoStever.com. You click accept. You get an email tonight. If you're one of our winners, I'm going to do 6 batteries today. So why not get a new battery? You zip in there, you zip out of there in 20 minutes.
Right.
It's over. And Mike does a great job installing a lot of them. They got a great team. And Mark's the owner, and they do a great job at Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. The Stever offer today at GoStever.com. You'll have a week or so to get in there, get her done, get your new battery, get some peace of mind.
Of course, it's Cyber Monday today, but
that's where you go online and spend, correct?
I guess so, but I am a little afraid of hackers and all of that, so I mainly just shop local, old-fashioned style.
I guess I haven't mentioned Cyber Monday. I know that's $1 zillion going out, but it is convenient.
And then tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, so a lot of different places. Crisis Nursery has a $25,000 match. We just talked with Habitat for Humanity and cuhabitat.org. You can click on there and donate. Just so many great local organizations. Of course, the Salvation Army, and they're ringing the bells right now, and register to ring.com for details on that.
Nobody's carrying cash.
I know it.
So what do we do with the Salvation
Army? They have a QR code that you could put your phone up above the kettle, but
I think you need to just put your card up and have it go ding, and it's $1 or $5 you designate.
Yep.
And because I think that was what I had. I was walking in and I was going to give $1. And cash, and then I went back to the car and got $1. I found $1.
Okay, that's right.
Otherwise, it's so uncommon now. I mean, we're a cashless society. It's amazing just that I used to carry $100 around. I just don't really have much cash anymore.
Well, and I'm working, of course, with Tolono Fun Day on that patriotic experience, Champaign County Freedom Celebration. It's the same with us in the donation buckets. We're putting thousands of dollars into these fireworks shows, and you have people walking around, but it's just less than $1,000 that you're getting in the buckets.
Much. Yeah, I think a lot of it now is they truly don't have much cash on them.
Right.
So somebody can figure that out. All right,
that's why a Giving Tuesday tomorrow is so imperative that you give or sponsor.
Yeah, and yet people
it's a tax write-off,
It's a tight deal right now. People are feeling it, and their credit cards are maxed. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was at one of those coffee places that serves kind of goodies and food and stuff. It's the worst going right now. Anybody can empathize with this? I'm standing there, and she's behind the counter, and it says, "Do you want to give a tip?" I'm 3 feet from her, and I'm going to put 0. But I got to go get the food. She's not doing anything.
I know.
So I go 15%. So, okay. But is that awkward?
It is awkward.
I mean, but are you supposed to tip people that are behind the counter that are just...
Right. They're just handing it off, organizing it.
They're not bringing it to my table. I mean, I've given 15%.
I think it all gets split at the end of the shift.
I'm just saying, they're, it just right in front of your face.
It's very uncomfortable.
It's just, nobody likes it.
Right.
But it kind of strong arms you into a tip.
It does.
And I understand they depend. I get it. But it's still awkward. Because why don't I put 30% or a custom tip?
Well, and then we're getting into the season here of tipping and taking care of people during the holidays. And, does that include the garbage guy?
I think
does
it depends.
The person who delivers the paper and all of that.
If you're comfortable doing that, it's awesome. And they will remember that.
For sure.
Because the post guy, the postal man, woman, and the garbage guy never gets because you're not there. It's 5 a.m.
I mean, my first job, 9 to 11 years old, was delivering the paper on the east side of Tolono.
You like tips, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
It was great.
All right, we're going to check your sports headlines one more time. 841-217-359-2255. It's a fairly new trend. How much you like to tip when they're standing watching? Come on, man. When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Illini fans, taste what's special about Jets Pizza by ordering any of their specialty pizzas for $5 off. That's right, save $5 on all specialty pizzas like the barbecue chicken pizza, chicken grilled to perfection, premium mozzarella cheese, bacon, red onion, and BBQ sauce. All piled onto Jets' amazing crust made from dough they make fresh every day. There's also their super special all-meaty chicken bacon ranch and more, all $5 off. Make your day special and order a Jets specialty pizza for $5 off.
When it comes to skincare, using the Cleanse Tone Moisturized System is a must. When you start seeing discoloration, fine lines, uneven texture, it's time to pull out the heavy hitters. Merle Norman's High Performance Serums. Power up your skincare regimen with these super concentrated formulas that target specific concerns and boost all benefits for your current skincare. Targeted, powerful, proven. Find your perfect serum today at Merle Norman, 706 West Market View Drive in Champaign.
Tapman's Towing team of experienced tow professionals is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
Invest in yourself and your money with a free rewards checking account from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little each month in service fees and charges, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National, where we offer 2.02 annual percentage yield on balances up to $20,000. No service fees or minimum balance required. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, agree to receive your statements electronically, and have at least one direct deposit in a monthly cycle to qualify. It's as easy as that. If an excellent APY alone wasn't enough, our free rewards checking also includes ATM fee refunds up to $20 and access to Reward Saver, which increases your earnings potential with 4.07% APY on balances up to $20,000. When you're ready to maximize your money, look to Fisher National, a bank ready to make the investment in you. See monthly requirements at any branch or visit fishernational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
All right, check your sports headlines one more time here before we get out of here. Don't forget, it's Luke Altmaier, another time today after 4, probably be our final appearance with quarterback Luke Altmaier. And then, of course, Jay Lehman at the 3 o'clock hour. Don't miss Jay. We'll get his recap of the Illini season, but Jay will continue to be on for, I think, into the new year even this year. So It's cool to have Jay in on Monday. Jay is massively entertaining with Lon Tay and Derek Piper. Let's check sports headlines.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Of course, Illinois lost to Northwestern 45-43, 5-7 on the season, 3-6 in the conference. Also, Indiana firing Coach Tom Allen is trending in Big Ten news. We had Michigan over Ohio State 30-24 and Iowa over Nebraska 13-10. So that's the Big Ten championship that's shaping up for Saturday the 2nd at 7 over in Indiana. Indianapolis.
I wonder if you could do two things at once when you're watching Iowa play football. There's just not going to be a lot of action.
You're right. Because of their defense and all that?
Well, they just 13-10 is a very normal score. Both teams rarely score over 30. So you could probably be on your phone a lot and still see the big plays.
Right.
Like a field goal. Big play.
Yeah.
They win. I'm just bitter, salty.
Right.
Just salty. And I'm not watching Iowa play Michigan for the Big Ten, even if I was available. I'm watching that.
And then we see so many seniors and players that are starting to step out then. John Paddock's one of them, right? And
he's a 6-year guy. He had quite the finish.
Yeah, 334 yards and 3 touchdowns on Saturday.
Well, he just, the wins. The last two are just rough.
Yeah.
Two-point losses.
All right. Oh. And then Johnny Newton had a couple of sacks.
Yeah, he's going to be in the NFL. So
dang it, the turnovers.
Yeah, we just 9 seconds they score 14 points.
Let's not talk about it anymore.
Ouch.
Bears at Minnesota tonight at 7:15 in NFL action. A lot of people were watching that Eagles game as they came from behind in overtime to beat the Buffalo Bills 37-34. Colts over Tampa Bay 27-20. And we also had our Illini men beating Western. Now Rutgers is up next. That's a 3 o'clock tip-off. That's on December 2nd, right?
This Saturday, yep.
Okay. And then we have our women on Wednesday at 6 o'clock taking on Central Connecticut State after beating Canisius 90-58 yesterday. Genesis Bryant with 21 points in that game. Illinois volleyball at 16-14 lost to Northwestern, but so that was a good season for them. And now we're going to focus on basketball. We had Wisconsin, Milwaukee over Portland, 108-102. Brooklyn beat the Chicago Bulls 118-109. And in NHL action, the Blues over the Blackhawks 4-2.
All righty, we'll check Greg's weather one more time.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hi, it's Stevie Jay. So I took my mom into Audubell, owned by Jeff Hanley, who owns 13 locations around central Illinois. She's had so much trouble hearing for so long. Audubell, Audibel, for hearing. And some of the new technologies, they've got AI now for some of these hearing aids, and they're virtually invisible. It's unbelievable, and it helped my mom. It helped her incredibly. We've been to other places. This is by far the best place I've ever been in for hearing help. Go to audibelteam.com. That's Audibel. If you want more information about Audubell and how Jeff Hanley and his amazing culture and amazing team that they have, go to audibelteam.com. That's Audibel, audibelteam.com. You'll be so happy you found Audubell. Amazing work. They got a location in Champaign. Go to audibelteam.com. That's audibelteam.com. Okay, so iHotel's doing their own little Cyber Monday, aren't they?
Do, and Cyber Monday deals are abound, and you can, if you're thinking about getting married in 2024 and you need some space or you're having a special event, you can have these huge discounts. You can also just save as guests are coming into town right now. So as you look up iHotel, make sure you're tapping into their Cyber Monday deals.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and Van vicinity, and as expected, a little more of an early winter look and feel over the back end of the holiday weekend and early on this week, with temperatures more or less at early December levels. Pretty much the story these waning days, typical of late November. Nice turnaround expected later this week, and an increasingly wet and active one shaping up as well. For the day-to-day, partly sunny, breezy, and cold. Still a couple of lingering snow flurries from time to time. Just 33 the expected high. West wind will add a chill at 12 to 24 and gusty. Quite cold tonight. We'll clear things off this evening. Lows around 15. On a gusty west wind, we'll compute wind chills tomorrow morning. Sunny cold, just 28. Down near 20 and rising temperatures tomorrow night. Mostly sunny, breezy, a bit milder on Wednesday afternoon. Actually much milder. Highs up to about 42. Rain moves in late Thursday into Friday. Back in for Sunday. High temperatures in the 40s. Nights in the mid to upper 30s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Jeremiah 29:11 states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." What a comfort we have in this passage, as the Lord is telling Jeremiah, I care for you and will take care of you. If you are in despair and think you have no hope, pray to the Lord for guidance. See how your life can be changed and the lives of those around you. This message brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist. Well, that's it for the November 27th program. Jay Lehman after 3 this afternoon with Lon and Derek, and Luke Altmaier, quarterback, on a tough way to finish the year. Definitely a thump. Really, again, it's just weird year from the standpoint of so many moments of real fist-pumping exuberance. Yes, we're really getting it going now. And then really disappointing moments as well. So, that's all you do is you go recruit, try and get better, come back in spring ball. Isaiah Williams will still have a decision to make, and I would guess Isaiah will come back. Casey Washington is out. This is his last year. At a
Johnny Newton.
Johnny Newton's gone. Keith Randolph's gone. Maybe some others. I don't know. Are we replacing our place kicker? Isn't he a senior? Anyway,
is it Griffith?
Caleb Griffin, from Danville. I think he's done too. Anyway, we'll sort all that out. All in on women's and men's basketball now.
Yes.
And that's what we got going on with the Illini women. Shauna Green and Brett Underwood and the Illini don't play again until Saturday at Rutgers as we begin the Big Ten season. I know we're better than Rutgers this year, but it's the RAC. It's like playing at the Rocket Center. Their fans are right on top of you.
Stacked up there.
It's stacked up, and it's a home court. They got a really good center outside of that. They're replacing a lot of people, but that'll be a challenge. Anything on the road, if you can win on the road in the Big Ten, it's a gift. It really is hard. Okay, all of our guests appearing on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We'll be back in the morning. We're going to talk to Alan Noodle about Willard Airport and what we need to do if we want to have a good airplane service here.
Okay.
We got to go to work, folks. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Have a great Monday.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
The Urbana Indoor Aquatic Center is selling passes to the indoor pool 50% off December 4th through the 8th. Visit the Indoor Aquatic Center at 102 East Michigan in Urbana. Buy passes for admission to the pool for lap swimming or the winter break public swim sessions. Open for public swim December 20th through January 3rd from 1:30 to 5:30 p.m. Punch cards are a great way for families and groups to enjoy the pool for a discount. To learn more, visit urbanaparks.org.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Are you looking for something this holiday season for your customers that can say thank you for